students, in this video we are going to solve two questions and we are going to study series. So first let's solve this question. Insert two numbers between 1 and -27 so that the resulting sequence is a GP. Now first number is 1, then we want two numbers and then -27. So we have to insert two numbers here so that this sequence becomes a GP. So let the numbers be x and y. So we want to find out values of x and y. Okay. Now as this sequence we want it to be a GP. That means what? See here, it is a first term, second term, third term and fourth term. So we have fourth term of the GP as -27 and first term is 1. So we denote first term by A. So A equals to 1 and fourth term is -27. But we know formula for nth term of a GP. It is A r raised to n minus 1. So for n equal to 4, we have, when we put n equal to 4, this becomes A r raised to 4 minus 1. That means A r raised to 3. But the value A r raised to 3 value is given -27. T4 is known. And value of A is also known. It is 1. So 1 into r cube equal to -27. Therefore r cube equal to -27, which is -3 cube. That means value of r is -3. Now this x is a second term. So it is a into r. First is a, then multiplying by r we get the next one, which is ar. So now a is 1 and r is -3. So this value is -3. And the next one is again we have to multiply by r. So this becomes ar square, which is 1 into -3 square. That is 1 into 9 equal to 9. Therefore, the resulting sequence, when we insert x and y, it becomes first is 1, then value of x is -3, value of y is 9 and the last number is -27. So this is the required GP. You can see here -3 by 1 is -3, 9 by -3 is -3, -27 upon 9 is also -3. So it is a GP. Let's solve one more question of this type. Now we want the sequence to be HP. So we have to insert two numbers between 1 by 4 and 1 by 3 so that the resulting sequence is a HP, harmonic progression. So in the harmonic progression, first term is 1 by 4, then we have x, then we have y, and the next one is 1 by 3. So we want this sequence to be HP. So this should be HP. HP means what? HP means when we take the reciprocals of all the terms, that sequence becomes an AP. So taking the reciprocals, we get 4 by 1 is 4. Then this is 1 by x. Next one is 1 upon y and this is 3 by 1 is 3. This sequence should be an AP. So we are using the same technique again. Now we have first term of the AP, which is 4, and we have fourth term of the AP, which is 3. T4 equal to 3. Now Tn for an AP is a plus n minus 1 into d. Now since we have T4, put n equal to 4. So a plus 4 minus 1 into d. 4 minus 1 is 3d. So this is a plus 3 into d. Okay. Now we have values of T4 and a. So let's substitute that value. So T4 is 3. So this is 3. Value of a is 4. Now the equation contains only one unknown, d. So solving this, we get value of d. So this is 3 minus 4 equal to 3d. So minus 1 equal to 3d. Therefore minus 1 upon 3 equals to d. So d equal to minus 1 by 3. Now 1 upon x, this one. So second number 1 by x is a plus d. Now a is 4 and d is minus 1 by 3. 4 into 3, 12, minus 1, that is 11 upon 3. Now 1 upon y, the next number is a plus 2 into d. Now a is 4, 2 into d is minus 1 by 3. So 4 minus 2 by 3. So 4 into 3 is 12. 12 minus 2 is 10 by 3. Okay. So the sequence in AP is 4. Then the next one is 11 by 3. 1 by x. We are substituting value here. Next one is 1 upon y, which is 10 by 3. And the last one is 3. So this is AP. And to make it HP, we have to take the reciprocals. So taking the reciprocals, it is 1 by 3, then 3 by 11, 3 by 10, and this becomes 1 by 3. So that is our required HP. So we have inserted two numbers between 1 by 4 and 1 by 3 so that this becomes HP. Okay. Now let's study sigma notation, that is summation. This is the notation for summation. Now as we are going to study series, so first of all let's see what is a series. If Tn is a sequence, then if we write the sum T1 plus T2 plus T3, so this is known as series. Okay. You can, it may be infinite sum, or you can take finitely many terms here and you can add that. So that is a finite series. And if you take infinite numbers, infinite terms of the sequence, then this becomes infinite series. Okay. Now let's study summation or sigma notation. If I write like this, say summation, say r equal to 1 to 10 r. Then I have to start with r equal to 1 and the last value for r is 10. And this is known as general term, rth term. Okay. So when we put r equal to 1 here, this becomes 1. Now write plus sign. Then put r equal to 2, next natural number. So 2. Then r equal to 3. Then r equal to 4, and the last one is r equal to 10. So to write 1 plus 2 up to 10, so in compact form, we can write this as summation r equal to 1 to 10. If I write like this, say summation, say 3r plus 1, r equal to 4 to say 7, what happens? Let's see. When we put r equal to 4, we have to start with r equal to 4. So r equal to 4 is 4 into 3, 12 plus 1. So first number is 13. Now the next one natural number is 5. So when we put 5 in this bracket, we get 3 into 5, 15 plus 1, that is 16 plus. Now r is equal to 4 for r equal to 5. Now r equal to 6. So when r is equal to 6, we get 6 into 3, 18 plus 1, 19. And the last value for r is 7. So 7 we have 3 into 7, 21 plus 1 is 22. So here we have r equal to 4 to r equal to 7. So we have 4, 5, 6 and 7. That means in all we have 4 terms. So substituting r equal to 4, we get this value. Then substituting r equal to 5, we get 16. R equal to 6, we get 19. And for r equal to 7, we get 22. So this is the sum. You can see here that it is AP. So to write this big sum, we can write it in compact form like this. Okay. Now let's study these properties of sigma notation. So sigma notation, first property is summation of AR plus BR equal to summation AR plus summation BR. AR plus BR is general term, rth term in this sequence. Here it is AR and here The general term is BR. So let's prove this. R equal to 1 to n. See, summation, first one. In the left hand side we have AR plus BR. So what is the meaning of this? We have to put R equal to 1, R equal to 2, R equal to 3, so on up to R equal to n. So when we put R equal to 1 for this bracket, we get A1 plus B1. Then put R equal to 2. So the bracket becomes A2 plus B2. Then put R equal to 3. Then this becomes A3 plus B3. So on. The last one we are substituting R equal to n. So that becomes AN plus BN. Okay. So we have written here the meaning. Now take the first part in first bracket. So that becomes A1 plus A2 so on up to AN, and write second part of each bracket in the second bracket here, B1 plus B2 plus B3 so on up to Bn. Now you can see that this is nothing but summation AR, R equal to 1 to n. As for R equal to 1 we get A1, then we have to put R equal to 2, that becomes A2. Then for R equal to 3 we have A3, and so on. The last one is R equal to n, we get AN. Similarly, the second bracket is summation BR, R equal to 1 to n. So that is our right hand side. So the property says that whenever we have sum, we have to write this sigma notation for both the terms. Okay. Similarly, for minus sign also, we get the same result. So if it is minus, see here, this plus now changes to minus sign, and from this second term we can take minus sign common, so this becomes minus, so this becomes minus, so we get the result. So if it is plus, then we have to write plus sign. If it is minus, then we have to write minus sign. Okay, the result is true only for plus and minus. It doesn't hold good for product or quotient. Okay. Second one is, if it is summation say k into AR, where k is some constant, then it is k summation AR, R equal to 1 to n. See, the property says that, so whenever this general term is multiplied by some constant, we have to write that constant outside the summation sign. So let's prove this also. So summation R equal to 1 to n, KAR. When we put R equal to 1, we get KA1. For R equal to 2, it is KA2, KA3, KA4, and the last one is KAN. And take k common from all the terms. So this is A1 plus A2 up to AN, which is nothing but k summation AR, R equal to 1 to n. So first rule is, if it is plus or minus sign in between and sigma notation is given, we have to write sigma notation for both the terms. The second one is, if a constant is given, then write that constant outside the sigma notation. Now the third one, if we have only constant here, then what happens? Summation R equal to 1 to n k. Now for R equal to 1, now this term doesn't contain R, so where are you substituting that R now? So for R equal to 1 we get k only. For R equal to 2 also we get k. R equal to 3 it is k only. And for R is equal to n, again k. So how many times we have written k? So we have written this n times, as we are substituting R equal to 1 to n. So we have written k n times. So 5 plus 5 plus 5, 3 times is 5 into 3, 15. 10 plus 10 plus 10, 12 times is 10 into 12. Similarly, k plus k plus k n times is k into n, which is n into k. So if it is sum of a constant term from R equal to 1 to n, then multiply it by n. So that becomes n into k. So we need these three important results to solve questions based on series. And we need some result also. So the result are, first one, 1 plus 2 plus 3 so on up to n is n plus 1 by 2. So what is this? this is sum of first n natural numbers. So this we can write it as summation r equal to 1 to n. See, if for r equal to 1 we get 1, r equal to 2 we get 2, r equal to 3 we get 3, r equal to n, this becomes n. So summation of r is n plus 1 by 2. So r starts with 1 and the last is n. So this is our result number 1. So we are going to use this result as they are, and we will be proving this result when we study mathematical induction. Okay. The second one is, if we take a square of first n natural numbers, then the result is this sum is n plus 1 to n plus 1 upon 6. We have to remember this result while solving the questions. So this is nothing but summation r square. Let's check. For r equal to 1 we get 1 square. For r is equal to 2 we get 2 square. R equal to 3, 3 square. And for r equal to n, this becomes n square. So this is sum of squares of first n natural numbers. And what is the formula? n plus 1 to n plus 1 upon 6. Okay, so this is summation r square. So let's put. Similarly, summation r cube is n square n plus 1 square by 4. So formula for summation r cube, that is 1 cube plus 2 cube plus 3 cube up to n cube. That means sum of cubes of first n natural numbers is n square n plus 1 square upon 4. Now let's use this result and these properties of sigma notation, and let's solve some questions based on this. Find the sum summation r equal to 1 to n, r plus 1 to r minus 1. So we are using the properties of sigma notation and the results. So here, first of all, we have here this rth term or the general term is product of two brackets. So first of all, let's multiply these two brackets, as we don't have property of sigma notation for product. It is only for sum or difference. So multiplying this bracket by r, we get 2r square. Then r into minus 1 is minus r. 1 into 2r, that is 2r. 1 into minus 1 is minus 1. So that is sigma r equal to 1 to n 2r square plus r minus 1. Now the terms are here either summation, either it is addition or subtraction here. In between we have plus or minus sign. Now by property of sigma notation, we have to put sigma for each term. So this becomes summation 2r square, then summation r, and then summation 1. Sum is from r equal to 1 to n. Okay. Now, if any constant term is there, we have to write that outside the sigma notation. 2 is constant. So 2 summation r square, r equal to 1 to n. Let's write this term as it is. Summation r equal to 1 to n. And summation 1, r equal to 1 to n. Now, we have formula for summation r square. So we have written the formula. Summation r square is n plus 1 to n plus 1 upon 6. And summation r is n plus 1 upon 2. And summation only constant is n into k. So let's use all the three result here. 2 into, first of all we have summation r square. So let's put the value. n plus 1 to n plus 1 upon 6. Next we have summation r. Summation r is, formula is n plus 1 by 2. And this is, now here k is 1. Okay, summation 1, here it is summation k. So value of k is 1. So it is n into k, that means n into 1. Now first of all, let's take the LCM. So 6 to 1, LCM is 6. So 6 upon 6 is 1. Multiplying these terms by 1, we get 2n, n plus 1, 2n plus 1 plus. Now 6 divided by 2 is 3. So we have to multiply this numerator by 3. So 3n, n plus 1 minus, here it is 1. So 6 upon 1 is 6. So here we have to multiply by 6. So this becomes 6n. Now let's take n common. From all these three terms, they contain n. So taking n common and writing the remaining term. 2 into n plus 1, 2n plus 1. Now taking this n common, the remaining terms are 3 and bracket n plus 1. Taking n common, here we have minus 6 divided by 6. So this is n. 2 into, we have product of these two brackets, so let's multiply those brackets first and then we will be multiplying those terms by 2. So this is 2n square plus n into 1 is n plus 1 into 2n, that is 2n. 1 into 1 is 1 plus 3 into n plus 1, let's write as it is, and let's simplify in the next step. Divided by 6. So this is n. Now let's multiply all these 4 terms by 2, or we can add these 2 terms first and then multiply by 2. Anything will do. So this is 4n square. 2 into n is 2n. 2 into 2n is 4n. 2 into 1 is 2. 3 into n is 3n. 3 into 1 is 3 and minus 6 divided by 6 as it is. Now this is n, 4n square. Now let's collect term in n. Here we have 2n, 4n and here it is 3n. So 2n plus 4n is 6n and 6n plus 3n is 9n. So 4n square plus 9n, and constant is 2 plus 3, 5, minus 6 is minus 1 divided by 6. So this is the required sum. Okay. Now your today's assignment is find the sum. Summation r equal to 1 to n, 2r plus 1, 3r minus r. Okay. And take one more question. Summation r equal to 1 to n, say 4r plus 1, 4r minus 1. Okay. Solve these two questions. Thank you. See you in the next video.